Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our dear listeners, and welcome to this special interview from Saudi Radio FM or SR FM. Today's guest, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Denmark to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Oli Moesby. Your Excellency, welcome to SRFM. Very honored and happy to have you with us, as always. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really pleased to be with you. It's a pleasure.
It's my personal pleasure. Your Excellency, let's kick off this interview, first of all, by asking you, you've been here also for, I would say, over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, here in the Kingdom. I'm sure also you experienced Ramadan. What is the Ramadan rituals to the Ambassador of Denmark?
Well, it's a fantastic month to be here during Ramadan. It's fantastic because it is changing the attitude and the way of behaving also at my embassy. Mm-hmm. And maybe people come in a little bit later, and maybe they go home a little bit earlier than they used to. But it's actually the combination of also focusing on what is the whole spirit of the Ramadan is fantastic to have at the embassy as well.
Speaking about Ramadan, of course, Ramadan is usually the month of generosity, hospitality also. Yeah. Unfortunately, due to the current circumstances of COVID-19, the gathering also has been limited. But, of course, food is definitely, in this month, is a month where a lot of us also become more creative in the food. I'm sure also you tried a couple of, let's say, local food here, of course, from your Saudi friends.
Well, I have tried it. I don't think I've experienced everything that I need to do. I'm still trying to learn everything that I can on Ramadan and food. I must say that we are gathering next week the whole embassy staff for an iftar. And I've asked them all to bring along their specialities. So I really look forward to that because they can teach me something on that.
Yeah, I would recommend definitely the Gemat and Sambusa also. It's one of my favorite personally.
Yes.
If you're not on a diet.
They are must, aren't they?
Your Excellency, you've been very active also in these last couple of months. I mean, I've seen you in Jazan, I've seen you in Qasim also, and I heard also you visited previously also places like Al-Ula, etc., etc., many regions in the Kingdom. Tell us about that experience also, and which one, let's say, attracted you more? Whether it was region-wise or even places, of course, also places here in the Kingdom.
That's a very difficult question you're asking me here because I actually have I've enjoyed all of these different places, but of course for various reasons. But I had I think an excellent visit to Abha in Jazeera and Azir region. But I've also been to Qasim, and I've been to Medina, and I've been to Jizan, and then, of course, I've been to Riyadh, and I've also been to Al Juf.
Wow!
So I've been a little bit around, and it's the variety that you actually experience as a result of that is something which is unique, and I don't want to give them any characters on which one I prefer.
Yeah,
I had a very good experience with all of them, and the last visit I had was actually to Jizan, and I was admittedly also in Jizan. I was surprised by what I saw, the ingenuity and the agility and the way people were actually, the ambitions that they have was fantastic, and I had a very good exchange of view with the people from the Jizan Economic City, but also from the Jizan Chamber of Commerce, and of course from His Royal Highness, the governor of Jizan region. Was fantastic.
True, yeah. I did also, of course, see the images also on many different platforms, also of news agencies here in the Kingdom. Your Excellency, let me speak about culture as well, right? Culture, of course. Denmark and Saudi Arabia have different cultures, of course, but the two are friendly countries. When it comes into culture, do you think also maybe in the future we might see, let's say, different culture experience between the two countries? When the world, let's say, opens up also, we can also introduce both cultures to the people of Denmark or Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely. Actually, I think that the knowledge about what we can deliver, what we can serve, or how we are in Denmark, of course, needs to be developed also in Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
But on the reverse, I actually think that the opening up, the initiative of focusing on of tourism and liberalizing the access by the visa is something which I think will have a lot of attractions for many Danes. I think they are actually the adventurous way of looking at a country like Saudi, and all the varieties which Saudi can actually offer is something which I would consider that as being a fast-running path in development of the bilateral relations. And
true.
I think actually you'll have many of the young people, but you'll also have many of the experienced and elder people who would like to come and test the adventure which you can offer in this country.
Yes, most definitely. Also, I have many friends who have visited the beautiful city of Copenhagen, and they spoke very highly about it also, and about the hospitality and generosity of the people of Denmark. Your Excellency, let me speak about trade too. Trade's also very important between the two countries. How do you evaluate, of course, the trade between Saudi Arabia and Denmark currently?
Well, I think we are making progress on this, and we are making it progress also in the sense that we are experiencing different areas of our trade relations and our long-term bilateral relations. Mm-hmm. But we have internationally, I think, a high profile on areas which is generating more priorities as a result of as a means of the Vision 2030. That's in the healthcare, the health system, the renewable energy. I had the pleasure of being part of the halfway status opening of the windmill park in Jamaat in Al Juf.
Yes,
and that was, in my opinion, a big experience, because it also demonstrates the ambitions which you have in Saudi in developing that field. And I think we have a lot of things we can offer on that.
Mm-hmm. Your Excellency, also, of course, I'm going to ask you a question which a lot of people are currently asking is, when, inshallah, COVID-19 pandemic is over also, and the travel ban has been lifted here in the kingdom also for Saudis to travel overseas. Many also are wondering, of course, does Denmark have a specific also rule that you must be vaccinated, or is there such a thing as a health passport also, which will be required?
Well, they are developing actually that on having a passport, a vaccination passport, but I think actually the whole element of that is still being developed, and I think internationally it'll take a long while before we have an international accepted passport. We don't even have that in Europe. European countries don't have anything commonality in that, and we are way away from. When I was young, we were having a yellow WHO passport if we were vaccinated against yellow fever or against things which we needed to have to travel around the world. But we are far away from that, and I think this is a different situation we're in. I would imagine that, and I hope, inshallah, that we will end up having combated the COVID-19 by if we are lucky, by the end of this year, and then we will have a totally free travel. I hope that we will have it before that in Denmark and in Saudi, of course. And I think in Denmark we are moving extremely hard on getting vaccinated the whole population as quickly as possible. There's a lot of demand in Denmark for having the opportunity again to be travelers, and I think that's setting a lot of pressure on the system. That's what the population wants.
Your Excellency, talking to you is, to be honest, it's very informative, fun. There's so many questions. Also, I wanna hopefully tackle on this interview, and I hope you have the time to.
It is a pleasure.
Thank you. Your Excellency, let me speak about, of course, Saudi Arabia. I know, I'm sure, of course, you were here also for many years. You witnessed the development, Vision 2030 as well. Can you also speak to us about that? How did you see it from your point of view, the development in different major sectors?
Well, I think actually it's been amazing to be here. I've been here for 3 years and 8 months, and it's the development which I've been witnessing to is just remarkable. And I have to admit that it's way far away from what the perception I had before I actually arrived. I was trying to prepare myself for coming here. But what I've seen since then is actually just about every day or every week it's changing my perception of what it is, and I think that's an experience which you have when you are here, and it's an experience which you are delighted actually to share with your colleagues, in your friends and your family and your colleagues in Denmark. But it's actually it's going far quicker than I think anyone really anticipated, and today actually they are not really. They are a little bit skeptic sometimes when I tell them all the speed that we have in it here, and so it's,
I imagine
it's actually to a certain extent a challenge. But I have to say that I've really been impressed and pleased also with what I've seen. It's amazing.
I'm very happy to hear that, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, when I speak to also about, of course, Saudi Arabia and the development, as you said, also in different sectors, of course, some of it also, of course, surpassed the expectation of so many. I'm sure also you're witnessing currently many initiatives which are also targeting different sectors, whether it was the climate, the energy, etc., etc. Let me speak also about these initiatives. How are you seeing them also, and the global impact that you think it will have also, not only on the kingdom but on the region? And let me go even further also and say the globe. Why not?
Well, I didn't actually really reply to you on which sector I think, but the ones which we have been focusing on, of course, is some of those where we believe that we have a special experience, and in the health sector, for instance, the ambitions of building up a healthcare system here, the ambition of also having the control and the sort of the securing of the right medical medicaments, pharmaceutical things, but also the way you are actually systemizing your by digitizing your healthcare system is something where I think that we have a lot to offer from Denmark, and that's an area where, frankly speaking, I think we can learn from you, because I've actually been impressed with the way you dealt with the COVID-19 situation here, and I think that's something which I think we've all learned from it, but we also need to maybe at a certain time share with one another the experience we've had from it, to see if there's anything we can do differently together in the future. And that's an area where I think we have a high priority. And then, of course, as I mentioned to you, I was in Al Juf for the wind farm, and just to being also for the opening of the solar panel projects, which is about 5 square kilometers of solar panels, was fantastic. I mean, I really, it's amazing the resources and the technology which has found its way to Saudi Arabia. You will be the leader in that for sure.
So, you actually, before I let you go, let me ask you also one last question. Let me ask you, of course, about, I'm sure also you being here, of course, it's been a different experience to you, right? I'm sure there's something that you probably will take back with you, whether it was culture or experience. What is let's say, the one thing that you think also stuck with you also, whether it was part of the culture or the experience itself?
Well, that's
a tough question.
Difficult question.
Yeah.
Because I hate to say something, and because then I lose a lot. But I would have to say to you that I really thought that I was on a hiking trip with a group in Asia, up the mountain close to Apa. That was a fantastic experience because that was totally different than what you anticipate and perceived as part of Saudi Arabia. But then I also have to admit that I visited the Neom area before it was really been built on. That was 2.5 years ago. I was there at that time, and it was amazing to see the perspective that and the plans which were set out for Neom. But I could also mention some of the specific events. When I came here in 2017, there was no cinemas in Saudi Arabia. There's now 20 cinemas, and I'm a big fan of film, so I enjoy it every time I go there. So that's a fantastic development also. So what I have a whole back of different good experiences and events which I could relate to.
Do you think it was easy for you to get along with, of course, our culture, lifestyle, of course, coming from, let's say, a more Western opened society to a society where so many also describe us as conservative in a way?
I don't see it like that. I think actually we have a lot of commonalities, and I think where you are outbeating most of the. I've served in many places before I came here, but that's actually to be very friendly, but also very
true.
You're taking good care of yourself, and you're taking good care of your guests when they're here. I actually have felt in very good hands here.
We appreciate it.
And I highly appreciate the generosity, but also the friendliness which you have here. And then, frankly speaking, I think there's a lot of culture in Saudi Arabia which actually generate a lot of new thinking on. I remember when one of the first things I did here was actually visiting the camel market, and just to have the experience of also the way these people were communicating was fantastic.
Joining us was His Excellency the Ambassador of Denmark. It was so nice talking to you. Let me say, Your Excellency, you were so humble to us. Also, thank you for also taking it easy with us, and as always, of course, very pleasured and happy to chat with you.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine.